About to start this thing up in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to the Comic Book Bullies with Nerd is the New Bully. I'm your host, Leroy, a.k.a. the Whistleblower, with my co-host.
This is Eli, the Jerry Sue, or the Eli Sue.
Okay, we just recorded this again, so can you please tell me what that was the first time? I don't even know what that means.
Well, Mary Sue.
Yeah. Well,
they got another dude, that's actually... so I'm a Jerry Sue?
Well, no. For men, it's Gary Sue.
Oh, is it Gary? Oh, what do
It's Gary Sue. It's the same thing, but it's Gary Sue if you're the Mary Sue version of that.
But it's Eli Sue. That's right. That's what
better work. Okay. Like I said, where we're gonna start with this one. The reason I call myself the Whistleblower because there's a whole bunch of bullshit been going on in the news. We know Trump is in some hot water again, and everybody's thinking, "What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen?" Guess what? 2 weeks from now, we won't care because
nothing's gonna happen.
Nothing's gonna happen. That's the whole point of it. He'll do something else, and we'll be on another news cycle. That's how this thing works. So until then, we're just gonna ignore that, and we're gonna talk about some comic books and fiction and other bullshit that's going on that doesn't really matter about. That's what we do. We're distractions. Mm-hmm. So, Eli, guess what I did this weekend?
You played patty cake? I don't know.
All right, so basically this weekend I pretty much did nothing, mainly because a funny thing about Mississippi is that we have... It's a funny thing about Mississippi. I always say some fucked up shit about it, some good shit about it. This thing is kind of. So basically in Mississippi, there's 2 football teams that everybody is a fan of. It's pretty much the New Orleans Saints and the Dallas Cowboys. And when I mean everybody, I mean like 99.9.99%. I mean, you got some weirdos that are 49ers fans, and that one fan I know that is a Buffalo Bills fan. Like, what the fuck? Buffalo fans aren't Buffalo Bill fans, but he is. But the point is that the game is, well, we're recording tonight. Yesterday, the game was yesterday down in New Orleans, Louisiana. New Orleans Saints, Dallas Cowboys. So everybody just packed up in Mississippi and just went to New Orleans. So I'm just here by myself in Mississippi for the time being. You know, like Will Smith from I Am Legend. Mm-hmm. I meant to say. Since we banned Will Smith, I meant to say Charlton Heston in Omega Man.
A Boy and His Dog.
Yeah, A Boy. Look it up. It's the same movie. Oh, and also Last Person on Earth with Vincent Price back in 30s. Yeah, all the same movie. Remake after remake after remake. Yeah. Me walking with my dog, going to brick and mortar stores with nobody in there, which, because of Amazon, is pretty much how they are now, you know. Hopping in people's cars, driving off and shit like that. So yeah, I'm like the little boy at home alone, just by myself, you know, shaving in the mirror and stuff like that because there's nobody here. So, but cleaning
out your belly button.
Yeah, making sure you know it's not a home invasion scene. You know, practicing my traps and stuff. So yeah, so that's what it is. So I didn't do anything except read comic books this weekend. The game was on TV. I could have turned to the game. I didn't even have enough energy to do that, so I was just like, look, I'll just keep this time to myself. Just a lazy Sunday for me, you know. Mm-hmm. Eli, what about your weekend? How'd you do?
Pretty much the same thing. Fucking sat around. There was no movies that came out. I read a bunch of comics, played a few games, and I watched football all day today. You know,
played games?
My team lost.
Oh, your team played today?
Yeah, they lost.
Vikings fan, right?
Yeah, Vikings. I'm up north. I don't give a shit about Dallas or New Orleans. I hate both those teams. But I did catch the ending. I did catch the fourth quarter where it kind of got interesting.
Yeah, but, and my timeline exploded over that. So whoever that is, they won. Good for them.
Yeah, but my team they ain't doing bad, but they ain't winning the games they're supposed to.
Okay, so don't worry, you'll make it. It's the insider. Did it at least get a moral victory like they did last week when you said they lost?
No, this was just
they didn't even win in spirit.
No.
Damn it!
No. You mean when they played the Packers? Yeah, the Green Bay Flaggers. I mean.
Oh, so they cheat also. Everybody always when their team loses, always says the other team cheated. It's always that way.
That's the rivals, us, because Wisconsin's right next to Minnesota, so that's our rivals. And then Chicago.
Yeah, the Cheeseheads, that's right.
Yeah, Chicago is our other rivals. We played them today, so we lost. Basically, we lost both, you know, in the division we got here. So Vikings are now shitty in the division now.
I guess. Have we talked enough about football long enough? You know.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Boogie on Comic Book Bull or Comic Cast was like telling me I should get on talking balls with them. So, just letting you know, that's all I know about football is Vikings.
He's gonna make you a Talking Balls fan. So yeah. So we're trying to get our numbers up to like the highest podcast on this geek network, Talking Balls, because obviously all nerds want to do is talk about football. So so
I got nothing to contribute to Talking Balls except skull.
whatever that means. So yeah, we're pandering, basically. That being said, we can actually move on to the podcast.
Yeah.
Okay. Guess what, Eli?
What's that?
We are recording.
All right.
I just checked. Okay, sorry that we had to do that bit a whole over again, but now we're actually gonna move into the podcast.
We rehearsed. It was a rehearsal.
It was a rehearsal. We never do rehearsals. I actually, I guess people can tell we don't. All right. That being said, let's move on the podcast. Let's go ahead and give these number one box office numbers and see what we got. Eli, give it to me. What is the number one movie of the week?
I don't even know. I don't.
Okay, I see it, and let me see if I can. Abominable.
Oh,
I guess it's a snowman movie.
It's another, not Pixar, is it DreamWorks or whatever?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's an animated kids movie.
No, I'm thinking it's like a horror movie about the snowman killing people.
No, that would have been cool. No, it's about Bigfoot, Bigfoot.
Remember, like, Wendigo in the Hulk comics? Give me
that. Yeah.
Wendigo. Okay.
Get the real Wendigo. That's actually cool. Like the native Wendigo, not the, the big furry gerbil, the Marvel.
Well,
comic.
see, now if you give me any Wendigo that's not that gerbil, the one that fights the Hulk, I'm going to be upset. I'm going to be like, that's not the Wendigo.
Oh, you got to see the real Wendigo, man. You'll shit your pants.
Oh, so they whitewashed the Wendigo?
Yeah, literally, yes.
They literally whitewashed the Wendigo.
Yes. Yes. Turned him into a fucking teddy bear and shit.
All right, number 2, we have Downton Abbey. Why is the movie so successful? I have no idea. You ever seen Downton Abbey?
Nope.
Me neither. It's like, I don't know. Number 3, this one hurts. Hustlers. Here's the thing, Eli. The reason it hurts is because I was actually supposed to see Hustlers last night.
Oh, really?
But I couldn't see it because I didn't get the tickets in time 3 hours before it was showing, and it was already sold out.
Damn, really?
Yes, I was already sold. I'm like, what the fuck, man? So yeah, the date I was supposed to go with, she's fucking pissed. She may or may not be listening to this podcast. If so, my bad.
But baby, Spider-Man Far From Home is still playing.
Oh shit. Number 4, we have It Chapter 2. We have 5, Ad Astra. We have 6, Rambo Last Blood. Damn, it dropped down that quick. I'm thinking Rambo Last Blood will probably have gotten, buzz since, the controversy of it came out and things like that. But I guess not. No one gives a shit.
Yeah.
I kind of figured it, Eli, because I looked at the numbers on our last podcast. No one gave a shit either.
No, man. Yeah.
It's like, so I thought it was either that or the Tekashi 6ix9ine shit, but I guess a combination of both those. Like, people like, I'm gonna skip this week. Number 7, we have Judy, whatever the fuck that is.
Judy Garland. That's right.
Oh,
Judy
really?
Garland.
They made a movie about her?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Who's playing her?
Is it Renee Zellweger?
Are you serious?
Yeah.
So they had the whole Yellow Brick Road and Wizard of Oz and all that stuff?
I don't know. I know it's just about her life and, and she probably, I'm sure they're going to show where she got all doped up and shit.
Man, it's Hollywood, of course they're gonna do that.
It's gonna end with her dying. I'll go ODing or whatever the fuck happened. It's gonna be one of those. Spoilers.
That's what I did. I was like, people like, the Wu-Tang show is still going on, right? And I'm telling people on my timeline, don't spoil the show for me. I'm so glad everybody don't watch the show. Like, everybody always spoils Game of Thrones and Power and all this shit like that. So I'm like, I'm glad you don't watch Wu-Tang. You can spoil the show for me. So people start coming on my posts. Start saying bullshit like, the bastard dies. The end. Shit like that.
They get signed to Loud Records.
Right.
No, but this last Wu-Tang episode, woo, damn.
That was fucked up.
Yeah.
And didn't you tell me that guy was part of the group? Or not part of the group, but part of like their, helping them get signed?
Well, no, that was in Power. No, I said Power. That was in Power that got shot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Power, okay. Raekwon's homie. was the one who helped him.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I always thought you thought that was the guy. Right, that guy was okay. It's coming clear to me now. That's why when it happened, I was like, wait a minute. Eli told me that guy was supposed to be somebody.
No, but I just thought that whole situation was fucked up. That old lady called the cops on him.
Yeah, that was fucked up.
Yeah, man, I was like, damn, and it just ended. I was like, oh.
But she had to do something. They throwing shit at her and stuff like that, not respecting her. So she like, but then you had the asshole cop that's been in the episodes before.
Yeah.
So yeah, but we're not gonna spoil it. We're not those guys.
Yeah. And that was like the only time I'm like, damn, I wish this wasn't a weekly show and I could just binge watch.
Right. But I'm glad. I'm glad. I mean, we get pissed about how Netflix is switching to the weekly serial show. But the thing is, we get a chance to talk about what happened. Now, if they just dropped the whole thing on time, we wouldn't have got a chance to like break down, what's going to happen. We just look at the show in general. But now we can actually talk about that one scene.
Yeah.
I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, it was fucked up. And the fucking pigeon. See, that's what I'm saying. The show really could use all the, that stylized filmmaking.
I agree with you. The pigeon, it looked like they were trying to tell a narrative with the pigeon because wherever they're flying, that was who the point of view story was. You know, I was they need stuff like I bet you that was like a guest director too, like somebody that's not always on the show.
And Inspector Deck is finally on the show.
Finally on the show. And he sucks at selling weed.
He sits there looking out the window all the time.
Oh, like, man, that's why they got to do them like that. But where was that? Okay, number eight. Good. I don't know how we got on that, but number 8, Good Boys. Number 9, The Lion King. Okay, let's look at these numbers. Let's see. 1.6 million, which makes it the 7th highest grossing movie of all time. Yeah.
6 million?
I'm sorry. Because I said that last week, too, and I heard myself. 1.6 billion. That's what I meant to say. I fucked it up last week, too. So, yeah, it's the 7th highest grossing movie of all time, period. And it's still climbing. It's still in number 10. Number 10, we also have Angel Has Fallen. So, all these movies still hanging in there. So, yeah, that is the box office. That's it. Next week, we have a barn burner coming out. It's supposed to be the most controversial movie of the year. The Joker.
They say that.
That's what they're saying. I mean, it's been hyped up. They hyping it up like left and right. Matter of fact, every bit of controversy is coming out is just making it bigger and bigger. And
security guards at the movie theaters.
Yeah, they're saying the army is putting out a list that incels might shoot up the theaters. You're like, what the fuck is an incel? I don't know what that is. Like, go on the internet. Shit.
See this movie at your own risk.
They don't want you to see this movie. Rambo had that same trailer, right? They don't want you to see this movie. Go see this movie. So they're the same thing. But yeah, and then they came, Warner Brothers came out with an official statement like, we don't cause violence. We just making a movie. So it doesn't matter. Anything they're doing is creating more, a bigger weekend for them, basically.
Yeah. It's stupid. But it comes down to the same shit. You don't like it, don't see it.
Yeah. Now, I did hear that they're not showing the movie in Aurora.
Oh, I heard about that.
Yeah, they just like they're not showing the movie at all in there. So that's
at the theater the one theater
right
that
at the one theater they actually get shot. They say they're not showing the movie there. So, that's the thing. And we brought this show down. Let's pick it back up. Superman. Okay. That's always a pick me up for some people. Well, at least for me. So Brandon Routh has actually officially released his whole Kingdom Come Superman look that's going to be on the Crisis on Infinite Earths TV show that's coming out this year. That's supposed to be the yearly crossover that they're doing. It's supposed to be everybody in there. So he's going to be in it. Tom Welling from Smallville is going to be in it. Lois Lane is going to be in it. I think the Lex Luthor that was in Smallville turned it down. But I think he's full of shit. I think he's going to be in it.
Or is he going to be the Atom?
Well, the Atom, because he's already the Atom. He's going to be both.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's going to be playing both at the same time on the show.
I don't know how to feel about that.
I mean, they'll make it work. I mean, will he stand next to each other or something? I don't know.
Adam's in my ass right now.
They should have. So we're going to sell us the same joke with Adam that we did with Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So honestly, Eli, I love this look. this is Superman. It's not like the other CW guy they got. It's like something about this guy just isn't Superman. I don't know what it is. It's like Jimmy Neutron or some shit, or like Lord Farquaad on Shrek. But this actually like Superman. And the thing is, I'm gonna give a hot take, Eli. I'm gonna give a unpopular opinion. Mm-hmm. I've always liked Brandon Routh as Superman better than Henry Cavill. Okay. The reason is because
underwear on the outside.
Well, that too. But they had this weird like Speedo look for Brandon Routh in the old movie. And, like his whole costume was off. Like, it was just off for some reason. This one actually gave him not Speedos, but he actually got trunks. Give him trunks. But but the thing is that Henry Cavill, I don't care what anybody said, like people love him now because they know he's been fired from the DCEU. But he can't act. That's the thing. He can't act. He just seems so wooden and so stiff on that. Where Brandon Routh actually seems like a human being when he's actually playing Superman. Plus he looks like Christopher Reeve. They try to find a guy that just looks like Christopher Reeve. And plus I've seen him in other stuff. He's actually has range as an actor. He played like the big bad, the bad guy on season 4 of Chuck. He's on Legends, funny on that and stuff like that. So the guy actually has range as Superman. So he can pull off the role. I mean, it's just the whole thing that, Warner Brothers kind of fucked them over. Because, they made the one movie. Bryan Singer fucked them over, made a shit movie. And they just scrapped the franchise.
I still love him as one of the evil X's in Scott Pilgrim.
Oh yeah, the vegan.
He was the vegan. He had the vegan powers.
Right, because I don't eat meat. I'm better at everything. Like he had telekinesis and shit. I was like, that's the weirdest shit ever. Yeah, he was good in that role.
I'm not afraid to hit a girl. I'm a rock star.
Awesome movie, man. That's all the DC news. Let's breeze on past this. Let's talk about Kevin Feige. Kevin Feige has had an interesting week this week. Mm-hmm. First off, Eli, we're gonna reach into Pandora's box this time, aren't we?
Okay. You don't want to talk about Spider-Man first?
Nah, let's just rip this Band-Aid off.
Okay.
And you know what? Let's talk about Spider. Let's get Spider-Man out the way first. Before we go there. Now that you bring it up. Okay, so this whole deal with Spider-Man, we talked about it, about 2 weeks ago, that Spider-Man's out of the MCU, he's never coming back. Marvel and DC, are fighting. Now they've made up and they're kissing, in the closet when nobody knows what's going on.
They're fucking on a big giant bed of money.
I hate you. I hate you. Just tongue each other down and shit.
They're having rage sex
right now. So
slap my face. Slap my fucking face.
Such a weird image I have in my head right now, but yeah. So yeah, they've made up for the time being. Spider-Man is back in the MCU, but everybody's happy and everybody's excited. Don't get too happy and don't get too excited. Because I actually read that Variety article that came out, and it's not what you think it is. Because they're only back for one movie. Mm-hmm. One solo movie, one MCU movie. Now, the MCU movie they require Spider-Man to be in, we don't know yet. But it's going to be one more solo Spider-Man movie, and the deal is done. Maybe they'll make up, and maybe they'll do another movie after that. Maybe this is it. Maybe they'll have their own solo thing going on, but this is it. And the reason they was able to get this deal done, because remember we talked about it 2-3 weeks ago, whenever it was, that Disney wanted half of all Sony shit? Mm-hmm. Okay, so now the deal is they're not going to ask for half. The deal is before where they got 5% of the movie, now they're going to get 25% of the movie. They still don't put any money up, so anything Marvel does is completely all profit because they're not putting any money up. Sony's still putting up the money for the movie. So it's pretty much the original deal, but instead of 5%, they're putting up 25%, which is the deal that Sony wanted to do from the beginning. So everybody's saying Sony's fucking up. Disney was the one to back down. They realized that stuff they were asking for was a little bit too insane. So they backed it down so they can get this deal done. So, yeah. So right now, Disney and Marvel are having makeup sex. But after 2021, when this movie is shot, we're going to be right back where we started again.
Yeah. When Tom Holland, when they kill Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah. That's probably when they bring back to kill him off, Now, here's the Night Monkey. All right. Now, can we get to the bullshit?
Sure.
Okay. Let's see how we're going to tackle this. Okay. So, Star Wars. the one band topic we have on the show. We can talk about religion. We can talk about gender, all that other crazy shit like that. But the one thing we don't touch is Star Wars on this show because we have different philosophies of it.
Even though I fucking review Star Wars books every week.
You do, but you notice I don't say anything about it. Like I'm just keep that Rose Tico opinion to myself. Okay.
And I do it. I'm doing it like like Monty Burns.
It's basically his payback for that time I played Will Smith at the end of that episode.
Everything is going according to my design.
All right, so let's
feel your anger.
Strike me down with all your hatred. All right, let's get to the bullshit. Okay, so talking about Star Wars. So our boy Kevin Feige, like I said, because the part of that Spider-Man deal was that Kevin Feige has to be included with the deal also. So he's co-producing the Spider-Man movie also, and he's producing a Star Wars movie. That's the thing about that. We don't know what Star Wars movie he's doing. We know if it's going to be a trilogy. We know if it's going to be a solo. We don't know what's going on. We just know that Kevin Feige will be producing a Star Wars movie. So everybody's asking, what does that mean? Who's going to be in it? What's it going to be about? What about Kathleen Kennedy? We don't know. We don't know anything like that. Cause some people saying like this is proof that Disney is admitting defeat. Kathleen Kennedy has to step down. We don't know. It is going to be interesting to see how will Kevin Feige and Kathleen Kennedy, fit in the same sandbox. Is it going to be Kevin Feige's going to walk in the room like, okay, Kevin, can you sit your ass in the corner and make me a sandwich? I'm in charge now. Or are they going to butt heads? Or what?
Oh, that just got us shut down right there.
Yeah, it probably did. Star Wars fans hate Kathleen Kennedy. Come on.
No, just the whole misogyny.
Oh, yeah.
Kevin Feige walking in the room. Hey, go make me a sandwich.
It may have. We don't know, man. We don't know. Hey. Let these fans tell it that's how they want it to be. That's that fever dream right there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. So Kevin Feige producing a Star Wars movie. We don't know what it means. And here's the thing about Kevin Feige. When they first got Star Wars, Kevin Feige applied for the position then. He fuck Marvel, give me Star Wars. I want Star Wars right now. They wouldn't let him get it. So he had to wait his time to, finish out this Endgame and Disney Plus and all this bullshit before they give him a Star Wars movie. But he wanted Kathleen Kennedy's job. And my thing is, actually, that if I would just insert my opinion, I'm thinking that's what's going on right now. I don't think this is a power move on Kathleen Kennedy. I don't think it's anything like that. I think they're grooming Kevin Feige for the big job. And I think they want him to know all aspects of the big franchises before he takes the big job. I think he may be going for Bob Iger's job or Alan Horn's job or getting the whole thing. Because to do a sidebar right here, Bob Iger released this tell-all book that came out this week, and he has some very interesting things in that book about that. One thing was about Kevin Feige. Another thing was about George Lucas. He admitted in the book they fucked over George Lucas, and they know they did it. Mm-hmm. Because George Lucas said, "I'm gonna sell you my heart and soul, my baby, Star Wars, for whatever $1 billion and shit like that. But here's my treatments for the next trilogy also. I'm also selling you my treatment also." They're like, okay. Soon as they got it, threw this shit in the trash can. Mm-hmm. George Lucas kept on raging like a lunatic, saying that they took my work, they took all my work, stuff like that. And they were actually going to make George Lucas sign a gag order before The Last Jedi came out. To kind of shut him up because they knew he was costing them money. But they didn't do it. They just let George Lucas be an asshole and whatever he do. But he admitted in the book that they fucked over George Lucas. They threw the treatment out the window. They didn't care what happened. Maybe they revisited it. Maybe they even bring him on as a consultant. But until then, nah, we don't care. And he also says some things about Kevin Feige also. Basically, the whole tension between Kevin Feige and Ike Perlmutter. Now, a lot of people keep wondering, why don't the MCU movies and the MCU TV shows never cross over? That's the reason why they don't cross over. This because this whole animosity between Kevin Feige and Ike Perlmutter. Because Kevin Feige was on the verge of almost quitting, like back in 2014, 2015, stuff like that. He was going to quit Marvel. And Ike Perlmutter would have been the guy that would have ran Marvel. Now, a lot of people don't know about Ike Perlmutter. I'm going to just say this, and I feel like we're the only show that can get away with this. He's a Trump supporter, basically. He's a Trump supporter. Back in 2016, he put like millions and millions into Trump supporters, in Trump's campaign, stuff like that. And I hate to label people this way, but you can tell he's kind of a sexist, racist, misogynist, conservative type of guy like that. Because people want to know why it took so long to get a Black Widow movie. He's the reason. He didn't think it would sell. He didn't want to greenlight a Black Panther movie. He didn't want to greenlight a Captain Marvel movie. He wanted to greenlight an Inhumans movie. That's what he wanted. He didn't want to pay these guys anything. If it was up to him, Robert Downey Jr. would have left a long time ago. Robert Downey Jr. wouldn't even been in Civil War because he didn't want him in the movie. He's saying Robert Downey Jr. was too expensive. So he wanted to get, and that's why the other actors didn't get paid anything. He had no problem replacing anybody. That's why you have Terrence Howard out. That's why you have Ed Norton out, because he was like, fuck these guys. I'll just get a new guy. When Kevin Feige was under Ike Perlmutter, so he had to do whatever he said for the time. But once they moved him from the position and Disney absorbed Marvel not into its own thing, but into the actual Disney, company, they made Kevin Feige over that. That's when he started getting the power, and that's when he was able to, start calling the shots. Okay, Inhumans, get rid of this shit. Anything that happens on a TV show like The Defenders and The Runaways and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. All I care about is my movies. That's all he cared about. So Ike Perlmutter still had the TV shows and all this stuff like that, but they're just in a sandbox playing against themselves. So that's why they don't cross over, because those two guys don't see eye to eye. And as far as Ike Perlmutter, nobody's even seen him now. We don't even know if he's even still with the company. But Kevin Feige has all this power now. They're pretty much averaging like $1 billion a movie these days. So they may be, and they probably want some of that Marvel magic to come on to Star Wars, and Eli, this is where the conversation about to go to shit. Star Wars is struggling right now. Now, we're not talking about the quality of the movies. That's another topic for another day. We're just saying, as of right now, they're on the bubble. They don't really know what The Last Skywalker is going to do numbers-wise. They had that theme park just released in Disney World. Numbers aren't doing what they want to. The person that was over, to make the Disney World, to make, Galaxy's End? Yeah, Galaxy's the person that made that, they fired her. The merchandising isn't doing what it used to do, what they projected it to be. So Star Wars on the bubble right now. They're pulling out all the stops right now. And if JJ can't bring this shit, bring it home, it's gonna be trouble. His son won't be writing Spider-Man books anymore. So
maybe he will be writing Spider-Man books.
Those are perks of the job. That's a privilege.
Like, oh, you're fired. Oh shit, can I write Spider-Man still?
So that's the problem. So that they really, want that Marvel magic to go over to Star Wars. And the funny thing is, what? It's all fun and games, Eli, until they put Brie Larson in one of these movies. That's when the fanboys gonna lose their shit. Like, forced diversity.
Oh, they're already losing their shit. They've been losing their shit.
They've been losing this shit, but they put Brie Larson in the movie. They're really losing this shit
for fucking 30 years. This ain't nothing.
They're really losing this shit now.
This ain't nothing new. See, here's the thing. Hey, Kevin Feige's gonna make Star Wars. Cool. As a fan, more Star Wars. I'm down. I'm always down for more Star Wars. If it don't do good, which it might not, and we know Solo flopped and shit, then motherfuckers are boycotting because of nerds are pussies and shit and bitch about shit all the fucking time. Mm-hmm. Star Wars can go away again. It's gone away many times for decades. This isn't the first time Star Wars has left the building.
Yeah.
But you know what? Another decade, it'll be back. That's what happens. So, yeah, I enjoy it when it's here. When it leaves, oh well. You're not in the camp that you don't want a Star Wars every 6 months? I wanted. I thought that was cool. I was down. I liked when Star Wars was happening every Christmas. I thought that was fucking great. Mm-hmm. But since that, people wanted to see Luke kick ass, that's not happening now. It's all because Luke didn't kick ass. That's what this is all about.
That's the thing about these Star Wars fans, that they care nothing about the actual quality of the movie or the plot of the movie, the narrative. They just want that one thing,
Yeah.
They want the fan service. Everybody keeps saying, why you keep doing fan service? If you just would have gave them fan service, they would have loved the movie.
Yeah. I mean, fucking, Force Awakens was, yes, it was a remake of A New Hope. People bitched. Then Last Skywalker was not a remake. It was a total, where they actually gave a filmmaker free reign to do whatever the fuck he wanted.
Right.
And he did, and everybody bitched. Now that's not happening anymore. Filmmaker, yeah. Kevin Feige's making Star Wars movies. He's not a director. He's just the guy in charge. He's going to find a yes man to do whatever the fuck he wants.
Like in the Marvel movies.
Like the Marvel movies. It doesn't matter who directs these movies. Because
you get a second unit team, do all the special effects.
You don't do and if you don't do what we want, we're going to fire you. Like Lord and Miller. Like fucking Gareth Edwards had a bunch of, like Rogue One was reshot. Like over half of that shit was reshot. It's like, the way Disney runs now is like, you don't need filmmakers. You just need a guy in charge and a bunch of yes people to do my shit.
Right. And then the second unit team they have is like the same second unit team on all these movies.
Yeah. So, and J.J. Abrams has proved himself to be a yes man. That's
how you got the job.
Yeah. He'll get in line and do what people want him to do. And he's good at that.
And that's exactly what's going to happen. That's what I'm saying. Like this Last Skywalker, he's going to do everything the fans want him to do. Rey is going to be a Snoke. Palpatine's going to be back.
Well, they're bringing Palpatine back. Right.
He's going to be a clone. Or he's going to be a ghost or whatever the fuck. Whatever the fans want, he's going to do. And that's Eli, that's why these Disney Star Wars movies get on my fucking nerves so much. Because everything feels like it's focus tested. Say what you want to about George Lucas. George Lucas did whatever the fuck he wanted to do. Yeah. We may not agree with it, but it was still what he wanted to do. He didn't focus test this shit. He didn't say, well, what would you like in the next movie? No, he gave it to you. You like this shit or you don't like this shit. And if I don't like this shit, I'm going to change it regardless whether you like it or not. Fucker.
And the thing is he was a Feige. He was an overseer, and that's what he was good at. Yeah. And maybe his mistake was directing. He's not a film.
Yeah, I mean, the best Star Wars movies weren't made by him.
Yeah, he doesn't work with actors very well. He doesn't, but he's an imaginative. He's a world builder, and he's, but whatever. I mean, to me, it's like that. Yeah, to me, it's more Star Wars, and I'll ride the wave as long as I will, as long as it's there until people bitch and piss and moan, and shit starts flopping, and then it'll fucking subside for a while, like it has been. We thought the prequels were the end. We never thought we were going to get any more Star Wars after the prequels.
Yeah.
Just like we never thought we were going to get the prequels back in the 80s. We thought Return of the Jedi was it. We had a couple of shitty Ewok movies, and then that was it. And then we had comics and books, and so it's whatever. I mean, I'm a fan. I mean, I've always loved this shit, but whatever. To me, I want to have fun. And right now Star Wars isn't fun because everyone just bitches.
Everybody's just bitching. I mean, because we're getting to the point now, Eli, where you got people. Like I said, Force Awakens came out. Everybody was bragging on social media how much they've never seen a Star Wars movie before. I've never seen this movie before. What's the movie about? So now you got us always bitching about these movies. They're looking at us like, oh, well, if they don't like these movies, then why should I like these movies? Because they weren't in on the ground floor, like we were growing up with all the toys and the video games and the movies and, dressing up like Han Solo and, Chewbacca and shit like that. Yeah. They don't know any of this shit. They just see us bitching all the time. So like, well, why, if y'all can't agree on this shit, why should I even worry about this?
Yeah. And all the kids who may have gotten into The Force Awakens, who got introduced to Star Wars through that movie, and like characters like Rey and Finn and, then all they see is motherfuckers bitching, their parents bitching at each other. Right. Like, fuck this. I'm going to go watch fucking Avengers. Right.
For the 50th time or some shit,
Yeah, it's like, they're just, it's ruining the fun. And, and if that's if this is not going to be fun anymore, then yeah, maybe it is time for it to,
and go away for a while. My thing is, even when I saw The Force Awakens, when I saw the movie, everybody else was going like, oh, this is great. Like the first week, everybody like, oh, this is the greatest movie ever. This is the greatest movie ever. Redeemed Star Wars. I was like,
I was too. My first initial reaction coming out of theater, other than what the fuck, they killed Han Solo, but spoilers. but I was like, okay, is that what it's going to be now? I was like, I was expecting Luke and all that. I was like, Luke didn't show up to the end. And it was on my second viewing where I'm like, okay, this isn't mine anymore. And
that's what I said. That's exactly what I said too. It's not my Star Wars.
This isn't mine anymore. Okay, and I had to come to terms with that, you know. So, and once I came to terms with that on like my second viewing, which was like 4 hours later, because I saw because I did see it like twice in one day, almost, you know. I was like, okay, this isn't for me anymore. This is for the next generation. This is for the kids. And I'm handing it off to them. And once I was able to do that, I'm like, fine. You know, now I just watch. I go into those theaters because I like hearing those sounds. I like seeing those sights and those ships, and you know, I'll never get tired of that. You know, so and that's just me as a fan. They still have like even Solo, which I thought was mediocre as fuck. I still had a good time watching the Millennium Falcon go through hyperspace. You know, to me, it was worth that. You know. But
I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe Kevin Feige can change this around. Maybe he just turn to another cookie cutter Marvel movie. Oh.
Just give us a cool story. I mean, that's all we want.
Chris Evans wants to be in it.
We just want motherfuckers just want lightsabers and fucking X-Wings.
Yeah.
And that's why
it'd be so simple. Just give us that.
Yeah. You know, but you know, The Last Jedi didn't give people who were waiting for Luke. You know everyone.
No, actually, I actually like The Last Jedi better than The Force Awakens because it did give us something different.
I do too.
I was just like, okay, you're giving us not the same shit over again. Okay, I'm invested. I'm into it now. Now, it wasn't a perfect movie. Wasn't everything about it, but it was like, give me something different. You know.
Yeah, I like the fact that it was different and didn't go where I thought, and you know, I enjoyed it for what it was, you know, and. Because I already came to terms with it through Force Awakens, I was fine with what Luke did. You know, I didn't need to see Luke whip out his dick and kill everybody.
But everybody else did.
That's why. And I think if there was one scene, if Luke Skywalker cut down a stormtrooper with his lightsaber, I think, Last Jedi was awesome.
Not a stormtrooper. One of those AT-ATs.
Yeah, something. You know, if he did something besides pulling the best fucking Jedi mind trick of all time.
Right.
You know.
His consciousness over in other galaxies and shit. Oh, yeah. Luke will be back, too. Because fan service.
Well, he's it. Yeah, they already said. You hear him in the trailer. So. No,
I think he's like physically going to be back.
he's a clone.
Yeah, like he'll just be there. Like, oh, don't worry about that. That was a clone. That was
or fucking time travel. It's funny. They did it in Endgame. Fuck it.
Yeah, fuck it. Just.
Jedis can do time travel. They never did that yet in Star Wars.
Yeah, they'll figure out a way. That's what I'm just like, all this course correction, man. Because Lucas had a vision of what he wanted to do. He didn't do course correction. He didn't just see it in the yes man. He didn't do focus testing. You know, he just did what the fuck he wanted to do. They don't have a narrative. I have no idea what this story could even be about. Because The Last Jedi, even though I kind of like that movie, it felt like an ending. It didn't feel like it was a setup for anything.
It was a setup for Rian Johnson's movie is what it was. You know, he wants to make some trilogy about that kid in the stable, that Jedi kid sweeping with the broom and shit.
Oh yeah, the worst part of the movie. Okay,
that's what that was for. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, everyone shits on Rian Johnson for Last Jedi. It was J.J. Abrams that put Luke on the island.
But here's the thing about J.J. and this is another thing that got on my nerves about fucking Force Awakens. J.J. Abrams, the whole movie, he was just putting in just little nuggets of and seed planning of what to set up later on. Oh, we're gonna say this for the next movie. What about this? We'll say this for the next movie. But he don't even know the answer to the shit he was putting in there.
Yeah. And Rian Johnson came along. He's like, I don't give a shit about that.
Right. Which another thing that pissed people off because J.J. Abrams set him up for failure.
Yeah.
Like he could have gave him the answers to some of this shit.
You know, the Knights of Ren, who gives a shit?
Right.
I still don't give a shit.
I don't give a shit about it. So they got guns and shit.
I don't care.
I thought they were Jedi. What the fuck they got guns for?
I don't give a shit who Snoke is. You know.
But everybody else, because the thing is, everybody had these notions of Snoke is this legendary blah blah blah, and this you know he passed blah blah blah, and they're like, nah, we just kill him. Fuck him.
Yeah, fuck him. I thought that was great. Trigger
now,
warning.
watch the next movie. He's gonna be explained to be some ancient whatever. We don't care, but because the fans are so pissed, they got to give the fans something.
Yeah.
So have we talked about Star Wars long enough? That's why I don't like talking about Star Wars. We're rambling. We just shit on about some shit that we actually really do like, both of us.
Yeah.
So, but it's just so negative. We just got to keep bringing that shit up. Let's talk about the video game section.
All right. I can bitch about Star Wars some more in this shit.
Nah, I really don't. We got too much other shit to go through. We don't have time to bitch about Star Wars all day. We got plenty of time for that coming in December. Video game section. Everybody who has an iPhone, iPad, Android, any of that bullshit, download Mario Kart. There you go. Okay.
On Android?
Yeah.
Oh no shit. Okay.
Yeah. It may or may not be free. I haven't downloaded it myself, but yeah, it's free Mario Kart. And I think you can play online with other people. So, yeah, have fun with that. Then, can we actually move into the next part of the podcast?
Oh, and in Battlefront 2, they did an update and got rid of my favorite fucking my favorite mode.
Okay, what is that? I know you said they got rid of extraction or something.
Yeah, it was one of the game modes, extraction, where you basically escort a shipment through a map. You know, you're either escorting it or you're trying to stop the other team from getting it. You know what I mean? Either you're the rebels or you're the Empire, and you're trying to get it through. You know, there was the Jabba's palace, and then there was Kessel, and it was just fun. For me, it was my favorite mode because you know where people are going to be. You can set up a front line and just defend, or you can go assault. It was always moving forward. Whereas, like, you know, the other modes, you're like running blindly across the planet. You know. You know, never see, you know, you run for 5 minutes, finally get to the battle, and then you get shot right away, and then respawn across the planet again. This one, it was like nice and confined, and it was just more fun. And they did an update, and they combined it with Assault. So maybe if you choose that mode, you might get the extraction, or you might get some other shitty mode that I can't stand. And so. Now Star Wars Battlefront 2 is basically useless to me now.
Oh well. Well, that's okay because they actually have another Star Wars game coming out.
That is true.
And what's the name of it?
Fallen Order.
Angel? Fallen Order.
Jedi has fallen.
I can't remember. It's something. Whatever the game is, it's a new one coming out. I think I'm gonna save up money. I'm gonna get that game. I'm gonna get it.
I saw the new trailer. It looked pretty cool too.
Yeah, I'm sold on it. It's made by the same guy that made God of War. So.
Yeah. There's giant monsters and shit you gotta fight. And
I just love that part of God of War. So, all right. So yeah, let's actually move on to the next part of the podcast. This is the part where the comic book bullies talk about comic books, and we're just gonna jump right into it. And Eli, should I go ahead and go first?
Sure. You doing X-Men?
I'm doing X-Men. This is the X Minute.
Guess what?
What?
I read them.
What? Really?
Yeah, I'm all caught up. Powers of X, I read it.
The new one?
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
See, my comic store is going out of business.
Yeah.
They're closing my comic store, at least the location I'm at.
What, did you steal them?
So everything's like half off right now.
Did you loot? Oh, I was going to say you went looting or some shit?
No, everything's like on clearance. Like they're white. It's like a, going out of business sale. Everything's like half off. Like everything in the store is half off.
Even brand new shit.
Yeah. So I fuck it. I haven't read these in a while. I grabbed, they're $5 books. Well, I got them for half off. So I caught up on both House of X and Powers. So
okay, what you want to do it?
No. I'm just saying I know what you're talking about now.
Okay. All right, let's go ahead and start this thing up. All right, Eli's caught up, so we can go there. Matter of fact, everybody should be reading this book right now if you're into comics. I don't know why you're not. Basically, how the book starts off, we're in Dallas, and I guess we're underwater in the sea or something like that, and Professor X is talking to Forge. And he's basically trying to get Forge to build him a new Cerebro. And he wants to build a new Cerebro because he wants to have this is like what we saw in the last book where he wants to have a backup hard drive of every single mutant on the planet. Forge telling him that can't be done. And he's like, it can't be done on Earth, but you know me, I have connection with the Shi'ar Empire. They gave me an unlimited hard drive or some bullshit like that where I can back up. I want to make 5 different hard drives. And Forge's like, well, that's a big order. He was like, well, I know you can't. I know you can do it, Forge. I'm asking, will you do it? And and they cut to the next page. So next page, we're talking that Magneto and Professor X are talking to Emma Frost, and they're telling Emma Frost their plan. This is like when they first met And
This
when
is
they
back
first,
in the day, yeah. We're
yeah,
going
back
back
in the day.
to
This
year
is
10 or
matter of fact, it's
whatever.
not even back in the day. It's like probably like 5 months
Yeah, year
ago.
10. Before Krakoa, basically.
Before Krakoa. But like they just make Krakoa. So this is like about maybe like 5-6 months before the main storyline. So they're talking to Emma and they're basically telling Emma what their plan is. And Professor X basically like, yeah, we want to get every single mutant on the planet and we want to make a nation. We put them on the island of Krakoa. And Emma's basically like, that's the dumbest idea I ever heard of. Y'all want to put us on a mutant island that has killed mutants before, put us all in one spot so everybody on the planet can put a target on us and kill us all over again? You want another Genosha? Like, Charles, I get you. You're a dumbass. You're an idealist. You're always doing some stuff like that. You, on the other hand, Magneto, you know better. And like, no, we're not going to do it the same way we did it last time. What we're going to do now is that we're going to actually make a official nation with the United Nations, with the government. And we're going to, do this the right way. You know about the pharmaceutical companies that have been going around? Like, Emma, yeah, I heard some rumors about that. Charles like, well, that's me. But I need somebody to help me move these pharmaceutical drugs all over the nation. But the thing is, I don't trust the humans. And so Magneto is just like, Magneto Professor X like, so we want you to do it, Emma. You run it through the Hellfire Empire, and we'll give you a seat on the table. Matter of fact, we got 2 seats. You're like, why you need 2 seats? Because we need Sebastian Stan back. You're like, oh, hell no, I ain't bringing him back. Like, that's the deal. You want to sit at the table? You got to go get Sebastian Stan because we might need him to do some stuff that you can't do to get these drugs, off to the rest of the world so we can be recognized as an official nation. You're like, okay, well, if I do that, I want 3 seats. Like, 3 seats? What do you need 3 seats for? Like, don't worry about that. You find out. So the next page, we see like the 12, leaders of Krakoa, and you see Professor X, Magneto, and you see Emma, but like every other name is scratched out, so we don't know who the other leaders are. Mm-hmm. Oh, and then next page we also see Professor X using Cerebro to tell all the bad guy mutants Krakoa is cool. Come to Krakoa. He's telling the acolytes, with Exodus. He's telling Mr. Sinister, and he's also telling Namor. And Namor is just like, oh, Professor X, let me guess. You just found out that the humans will never accept you, and you realize you're better than them, and it's better off you just find your own way because it's not that they hate you, it's that they really envy you. Yeah, it's about time you figure that out. The professor's like, oh, so Namor, are you going to come with us? We're making this offer to all mutants. And Namor's like, Professor, look at me. Do I look like somebody that just figured out that he's better than everybody? And do I believe for a second that you really believe the same thing I believe? Like, fuck out of here. Let me know when you're sincere. So Namor basically tell him to fuck off. Cut to 100,000 years in the future, 10,000 years, whatever. Long time in the future. We're back to that other bullshit that I hate. So yeah. So the elder of Earth or whatever like that is talking to the Phalanx, and the Phalanx say, "We accept your offer." The Phalanx kiss the elder on the forehead, and the elder turns into dust, dead. They're like, okay. So then the other, I guess the librarian or whoever was talking is talking to that other, talking to Nimrod, the floating Nimrod, stuff like that. Like, what happened? Why did the Phalanx, kill the elder? Like, well, first off, the Phalanx answered to a higher power. They answered to what we think is called like the Titans or the Dominion or something like that. So we don't what they do is beyond our understanding. Matter of fact, they live in a society that's so advanced, so highly intelligent that it creates a black hole. And what we don't understand about these black holes is that all the black holes might all be connected. They might have a singularity or a singular consciousness that's controlling all of them. Matter of fact, what if inside of those black holes is what we as humans always been searching for? What if God lies behind the black holes? We're like, well, that's interesting, But either way, the Phalanx accept your offer. So tomorrow, we're all going to be accepted into the Phalanx, and they're going to blow up the Earth. The end. I'm like, okay. I don't remember them saying it earlier, but okay, so that seems to be the end. And then Hickman's got all these lists of the Titans and the Spacebound and the Dominion, and basically saying the Dominion is the most powerful. That like the Dominions are basically gods. Like whatever we think God is, that's what the Dominion is. And they are scared of nothing except for one thing. Well, 2 things: Galactus and Phoenix. That's the only 2 things they're scared of. But yeah, that's the story. This is one of the more straightforward Powers of X books. I love the speech Namor give. Love how he's writing Emma in the books, because he's making Emma an interesting character, not just, fan service like she used to be back in the 80s and 90s. She's actually wearing clothes. So,
Damn it.
Yeah, right. I know some people hate it. Overall, I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5. The important books that Hickman wants you to pay attention to are the ones that he marks as red. The red books are the ones you want to pay attention to. So this is kind of like an easy breezy book that he was kind of regurgitating information he already gave us earlier. So yeah.
Yeah. I noticed, like the House of X books are the more straightforward books.
Because it's just one timeline.
Yeah, and then this is all diplomacy and talking. This is the Phantom Menace of the X-Men books.
You know what? And I'm fine with that. I realize that like people keep saying there's too much politics in books. There's too much politics. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about, because these X-Men books are nothing but politics, but they're really politics.
Yeah, setting up the government and getting Emma Frost to basically set up a corporation for trade.
Yeah, I mean, like the details going to like even with Forge talking about like how he's going to build Cerebro, what Professor X wants with Cerebro, and like you were saying, like the whole politics behind like how they're going to set up trade and pharmaceuticals. Like, damn, so this how you build a nation? Let me write this down.
And then Professor X giving the Indian guy a drink, man.
I was wondering if you, saw any subtext behind it.
Now I'm just like, man, you better watch out. You don't want to get the Indian guy drunk, fucking Charlie. He'll end up snaking out and beating your ass and shit. You fucking little weasel.
Like he builds Cerebro, he just take it from the shit, So. Matter of fact, in the future, don't they own Forge's place now?
I don't fucking know.
I think they were like hanging out in there, like in one of those other books. But yeah, really fucked up. But yeah, it's like I said, I'm loving the book right now. We got one more issue each of the books, so we're getting ready for the grand finale of both. And I think for House of X, that's one of the red books. So we need to, be on the lookout for that. So yeah.
All right. Well, since we're still on X-Men shit, I'll do the New Mutants, War Children, One Shot.
Written by Chris Claremont.
Art by Bill Sienkiewicz. Sienkiewicz? I've heard it so many ways. I'm going to say Sienkiewicz. Classic writer-artist team back on the book for just this one shot. So the story is okay. It's the classic team, the old school team or OG team. You got Danny Moonstar, you got Magic, you got Rain Sinclair, Wolfsbane, you got Cannonball, you got Karma, you got fucking Magma, she's on there, you got Sunspot, and for some reason, Kitty Pryde's there too. Oh, and Cypher. Cypher's there.
Okay.
And then Warlock. So Warlock is like having this nightmare. He's freaking out. He's having some alien god is supposed to like, he's destined to destroy the world or whatever the fuck. So he starts freaking out and starts infecting everybody with the techno virus, So he basically infects the whole team. They all start wigging out, and basically Rain Sinclair and Doug or Cypher, they're the only two that are left to fight him. The two most useless ones are left to fight him. But they basically talk to Warlock. They basically, they convince him that hey, we're a family. You can choose not to destroy everything. This isn't your destiny. You can choose not to do this. And we will help you because we're all a family. Like, we got your back and all that stuff. So basically, that's what happens. It's it just. The story just emphasizes their bond, that they're still a family, that they're still a crew, and they still give a shit about each other. So that's essentially what this is about.
Does Magneto show up at all in the book?
No. It's other than that, it's a pretty forgettable story. I mean, it feels a little rushed, but it does give each member a time to shine. They have their own little moment. I think because Chris Claremont is better at writing longer form stories than just a one shot. So it's a total throwback, to old school Mutants. If you grew up reading Mutants back in the 80s and 90s, this is basically what it is. Story's okay, but it's the art the art is what makes this book really cool. Bill Sienkiewicz's, he's got that. He hasn't lost his touch. He's got that really abstract, expressive, surreal kind of art, which totally fits the New Mutant storylines, because they're always dealing with hell and different dimensions and limbo and magic. She was in limbo. He had karma possessing people. Danny Moonstar projecting fear and all that shit. So the weird abstract art always fit those type of storylines. So it, and then plus there was elements of, supernatural horror sci-fi, which makes it really cool. But yeah, it's just in the end, it's just a throwback. It's just a one-shot throwback to, for the fans of old school New Mutants, old New Mutants,
80s New Mutants,
yeah, 80s New Mutants. The art is cool. The art is what makes the book. There's a really cool panel where Wolfsbane and Cypher are getting infected with technovirus, and their faces are half their faces are getting all distorted. They look like circuit boards. It looks just whoa, that's fucking cool. So yeah, just get it for the art. It's really cool. The story's whatever. Story's just a greatest hits one shot of them doing some shit. So I give it a 4 out of 5 just for the art.
Okay. All right. Next book I think I'll do is let's do this Action Comics book.
All right.
It's been getting some buzz. So yeah, this is Action Comics 1015. And it featuring on the cover Superman, of course, because it's a book, Batman, and new character Naomi.
All right.
So for those who don't know Naomi, she's a new Bendis character. I was reviewing, I think, about 3 or 4 of the books, and I kind of fell off at the end. But yeah, now Bendis already said this is going to be a big character. This one he's going to push the hell out of, and now she's in the Superman book. So let's see where the book starts off. So the book opens up with actually, her point of view. She's flying, see the clouds, she sees the Daily Planet getting closer and closer, because basically she's trying to find Superman. She got to tell Superman exactly what happened because she just got her powers, but she doesn't know how to fly yet, so she ended up flying directly into a food cart. When she looks up, Superman is right there, and she's like, "Can I help you, miss?" And she was like, "Yeah, Superman, I got to talk to you. I need your help for something." He was like, "Yeah, before I help you, let me fix this food cart." And then he super speeds, fixed the food cart, and he's saying he's done it so many times, that food cart, because right next to the Daily Planet, that he's even cleaned the grill when he fixed it. So he was like, let's take you to the Daily Planet and let's figure out exactly how you got your powers and where you came from, and figure out whether or not you're telling the truth, anything like that. So she's flying to the Daily Planet. You see this, her in the background trying to learn how to fly with Superman. So she's flying over the place, but eventually she figures herself out. She gets to the Hall of Justice, meets the Wonder Twins, meets the Atom. The Atom starts, shining a light in her face to see if her pupils are dilated. Asks her, "So you're from a different Earth?" And he throws the multiverse screen on. "Which Earth are you from?" He's like, "I didn't know there was a multiverse." And then while she talking and stuff like that, Batman pops out of nowhere. And Superman's like, "Why do you keep sneaking up on people like that?" When she starts freaking out, the powers start freaking out. And Batman's like, "Well, that's why. She needs to get control of her powers." So Batman's running tests, Superman's running tests. They find out she's from a different Earth. They find out some evil dude named, I don't know, Lamboni, I don't know, whatever fuck. We'll figure out later on. He's from an evil Earth. He's trying to kill her. Killed her parents apparently in the Naomi book that I didn't pay attention to. And she asks Batman, "Batman, they killed my parents. Is this something you ever get over?" Batman's like, "No." And then she's like, "Good." And then Superman sees Batman, kind of smiles. Like, you can tell Batman like, "Oh yeah, I like this girl. She's cool. She might be a new Robin." So, with Superman, while they're running tests, he gets this super hearing thing, and like that, "I gotta go." So he flies over to Club Ultimate, where all the bad guys in Metropolis like to hang out and stuff like that. And he sees that same old Bendis enemy that's been popping up, the Red Cloud. But he's beaten the Red Cloud before, so he didn't think much about it. But the Red Cloud's like, "Oh yeah, Lex Luthor says hi." And then starts beating the shit out of Superman. Because, Lex Luthor has been going around in all these books giving supervillains powers. And this is another year in the villain tie-in. So Red Cloud is way more powerful than she's ever been before. Beats the shit out of Superman. And, yeah, that's the book. I don't know what to say. Yeah.
Okay.
So overall, Naomi on the front of the cover, like she's going to save the day and shit like that. She might saving the day. I mean, this might be like a 2-part or 3-part, anything like that. But for the most part, she just kind of just shows up and just meets the Justice League and the Wonder Twins. That's pretty much about it. That's the selling point of this book. So, overall, let me just talk about Naomi for a second. I know what Bendis is doing because they're always saying, I guess people say he kind of fucked up Riri. Oh, did I say that Riri's book got canceled?
No.
Yeah, it got canceled. I think her last issue might be in like December. Oh, sure, it got canceled also. So yeah, what we call that. And so Bendis, they always saying, stop stealing our characters. Make your own characters. Like, that's not gonna fucked up even you saying that our characters, But the point is, I get what they're saying. Stop race swapping, stop gender swapping, stop, doing stuff like making an original character. Well, boom. That's what Bendis did. Naomi's the original character. Maybe she's a white lantern or a black lantern or a green lantern or orange lantern or whatever the fuck. I didn't read the last issue or whatever the fuck she was in. But the point is, she's an original character. So that same excuse that you made for Riri, you can't make for Naomi. So that's what he was going for. Overall, I'll get the book 3.5 out of 5. I still don't know what Naomi's thing is. They could at least said what her powers are, but I guess the Justice League don't know yet, so they can't really say. So I don't know.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool. Do you want me to do? You want to do Harleen or
I want to do Harleen. You want to do Batman v Superman and Superman?
No.
Okay. I'll do that too.
I'll do Kylo Ren. How about that?
Another Star.
Star Wars.
I love it. Yeah.
All right, here we go. Star Wars: Age of Resistance. Kylo Ren One Shot. Kylo Ren goes on a mission to a war-torn planet where Darth Vader actually lost a battle back in the day. But Kylo Ren goes there and kicks ass. He kills the king, kills their god, which happens to be a Zillo beast. For those who don't know what a Zillo beast is, it's like this big, gigantic kaiju beast from the Clone Wars that the Jedi could not actually destroy. They actually had to freeze it, and the Emperor or Palpatine wanted to clone it.
Oh wow!
So that was on the Clone Wars. So, but it's just showcasing Kylo Ren kicking ass. I guess it's pretty cool. It actually shows Kylo Ren doing some cool shit. Because unpopular opinion, this is just me. I think Kylo Ren is kind of whack.
I don't think that's unpopular.
Okay. Yeah, he's just not that cool of a villain. He keeps getting his ass kicked. Rey kicks his ass. Luke beats his ass from across the galaxy. The only time he ever wins a fight is when he's, beating up old men like Han Solo or Snoke. So, other than that, he's kind of a whiny bitch, and so I'm not a fan of him. But this book shows him doing some cool shit, so I'll give it a 4 out of 5.
Okay, well, that didn't take long.
There you go.
All right, so let's do it. Let's talk about Batman Superman #2. Okay, a lot to digest in this book. Last we left off, basically Billy Batson has become the Shazam Who Laughs because he's been infected by the Batman Who Laughs, who's also running around, infecting people and giving superpowers just like Lex Luthor is, So the book starts off with Batman throwing a batarang at Shazam, and he's just laughing like, why the fuck you throwing a batarang at me? I have fucking superpowers, So he flies to the sky, starts, throwing buildings at random people, shit like that. So Superman flies up and they start fighting each other and shit. And Superman is telling them, Billy, you can fight this, and Shazam even turns back to Billy, like, Superman, you gotta help me. The Joker, the Batman Who Laughs is infecting me some kind of way, and I'm scared I'm gonna hurt my family and hurt you guys, stuff like that. And Superman's like, Billy, don't worry about it. We're gonna figure this out. We're gonna fight this. And Billy just like, you fucking dumbass. Shazam, bitch, and then turns back at Shazam and starts beating the shit out of Superman again. He's just like, yeah, because you never been. The lightning actually hit Superman. That's why he's stunned. And Shazam takes out the batarang, the nth metal batarang that the Joker Who Laughs, or Batman Who Laughs, gave him, and he's about to stab. Because if he stabs Superman, he's gonna be affected just like him. But before he can do that, Batman steals the Batman Who Laughs, a bat plane whose plane seems to be better or faster than his, crashes it into Shazam, but jumps out at the last minute and happens to stab Shazam in the chest with his nth metal Shazam batarang also. The reason that it affected because nth metal goes all through magic, so it's just like it's like kryptonite for magicians, you know. So that's how they would stab him. So Batman gets electrocuted. Shazam turns back to the Billy Batson, so Superman has a choice to, you know, only catch one of them at a time. So he decides to go for Batman because he knows his heart stopped and he needs the most attention. He grabs Batman. Billy Batson Shazams his way back in Shazam Who Laughs, and he flies off. So Superman takes Batman back to the Fortress of Solitude, heals him, puts him in like some kind of healing chamber, stuff like that. Batman's fucking pissed. He was like, why did you come save me? Why didn't you get the Shazam Who Laughs? Because he'd be out there hurting other people. He's the only lead we had. They're arguing back and forth. He was like, man, I was going to say, don't get mad at me. He kicked both our asses. You were there too. It's like he kicked my ass and kicked your ass too. You know, so they're quiet, and then they decided to go back, you know, and figure out exactly what the hell's going on. So they have the nth metal batarang, and they have the Shazam batarang also. You know, the one that's supposed to infect each person. And Superman is about to tell Batman exactly what's going on, and Batman decides to tell him, like, oh, I already know what's going on. These two metals can infect the superheroes, but they only affect the person they're exactly designed for. And Superman like, wait a minute, you can read Kryptonian? And Batman starts speaking Kryptonian to Superman. You're like, yeah, I know Kryptonian. So what's the plan? What are we going to do? We're like, well, let's do something that we've never thought we'd do before. Superman decides to go undercover as a Shazam Who Laughs and freeze the Batman Who Laughs. Oh, I'm sorry, as a Superman Who Laughs, and freeze the Batman Who Laughs under the Hall of Justice, who nobody knows he's even buried under there in a prison except for Superman. And that's the book. So now Superman's going undercover. We'll see how that goes. There's a weird ending. Not really sure where it's gonna go, but yeah, I don't know.
Batman's doing some shady shit.
Yeah, but it's Batman. You expect that. It was like, why under the Hall of Justice? I get why he did in the Hall of Justice, because he's built like the best multiverse prison. Like, it's the most secure place in the multiverse. So I get why he put the Bat. I wonder, has he been there the whole time? Because Lex Luthor has been back and forth there talking to him like a bunch of times in the Justice League books. Yeah. So it can't be that damn secure.
Yeah.
But whatever. 3 out of 5. It's cool.
All right. I guess I'll do. Should I do this Absolute Carnage, Miles Morales?
Go for it.
All right. Our Absolute Carnage minute. Ba-dum-bum.
Nick Spencer, y'all.
Yeah.
Nazi Spider-Man.
No, this is Salman Ahmed.
Oh, Nick Spencer left?
No, this is the Absolute Carnage, Miles Morales.
Oh, okay. I thought because I know there was a Peter Parker book out too. Okay.
Yeah. So this is Miles Morales, Absolute Carnage #2. So Carnage has been going around finding everyone who has ever been infected with a symbiote and pulling out their DNA to resurrect Null, the symbiote god. And he has been infecting everyone around him and turning them into symbiotes. So Carnage has this horde, like a Carnage horde, and Venom and Spider-Man have been trying to stop them. Well, Miles Morales has been infected by a symbiote in the last issue. Carnage then commands him to go kill J. Jonah Jameson. And that's what he goes to do. He bum rushes the Daily Bugle to kill J. Jonah, but Silver Sable shows up. That's a tongue twister. Silver Sable. Say
the real name and then say the whole thing.
Silver Sable. Yeah, she's there to stop him. So it just basically becomes a fight between symbiote Spider-Man and Silver Sable and her crew. And the whole time, like, Miles Morales is inside the symbiote, like trying to resist the dark urges of the symbiote. But he almost does at one point, but the symbiote's too strong, and he ends up escaping, and that's about it. It's not much. It's just another tie-in, more filler, unnecessary. Doesn't really affect the main story arc of Absolute Carnage, so it's just a 3 out of 5.
Okay, cool. They're hanging in there. There's like 2 more books left in the Absolute Carnage, like, main story.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, not very long story at all. Nowadays they're doing like 12 issues, but I guess it's just kind of get in and get out with that one.
Yeah,
All right,
the Venom, the Venom in this, Venom is like the only other tie-in that you really need to follow. That like
right, because Donny Cates actually writing that one, so he's gonna make sure that one ties in. So
yeah.
All right. So I guess this is my book of the week, Eli, the one we're gonna do next.
Mine too.
Okay,
so
this is our book of the week we're gonna go for. So this is Harleen. We all know who Harleen is. It's Harley Quinn. So this is the origin story of Harley Quinn. It's a Black Label book.
Mm-hmm.
So and the name of the guy is, help me say this, Stefan Sejic, something like that. The funny thing is, I've never seen this artist work in comics before, but I've seen memes of this artist draw books. You ever seen those memes before?
I don't know.
Like if I show them to you, you recognize it. Like, okay, this art style looks familiar. But anyway, the cover is the first thing that got me, because the cover, if you look at it, is Harley Quinn holding up a mask, but her right eye, her right eye has tears coming down, and the left eye, is looking mischievous. So it's like, which one is this? That the duality. That's what.
I got the variant.
Oh, well, what does yours look like?
I got her hanging up. She's in her Harley Quinn outfit, like the old school one, the red and black one. Mm-hmm. And then it shows like a bunch of villains behind her: Killer Croc, fucking Ivy, all those motherfuckers behind her.
Oh, cool. Okay, so that's cool. All right, so basically, I'm not gonna start how the book goes on. I'm gonna just jump into it. Harley Quinn. Well, not Harley Quinn. Harleen Frances Quinzel. She works at the Gotham Center for criminal something. She's the weekend. She's having a night out drinks, with her best friend, talking about how her career is going nowhere. No one gives a shit about what she's doing. And then she leaving, and then all of a sudden, that block that she's on gets attacked by the Joker. He's attacked by the Joker. He's got these goons behind him, and he sees Harleen. And he points a gun at Harleen. And then when he points a gun at her, your life flashes before you. So her whole life flashed before, but not her whole life, just the stuff that we need to know. And it's something very interesting that happens here, because it seems like what they're doing now is that they're retconning Harleen's backstory, because this all was done in Mad Love, like back 20 years ago. But they're putting a spin on this. Now, in the Mad Love story, basically it said that Harley Quinn slept her way through college, to get her good grades. But they changed it, saying that's not what happened here. What happened here is that she always had a grade. She earned all of her grades. What happened is she had a crush on one of her professors, Professor Collins. And Professor Collins, what Professor Collins going to do when, Margot Robbie walks into your room? You're just going to do what you're going to do. So, but she got found out. She got busted. So when she got busted, she got a reputation of being a slut. All she did is sleep with one guy. But now it makes it seem like she slept with every guy in like every middle-aged guy in the college she slept with. Like, that's why they call her Harley.
Even at her job.
Right.
Yeah.
And we know this stuff happens, woman get called slut because of one thing she did, because of one guy tells everything that she did, But like, that's why they call her Harley, because everybody in here is Rotor, stuff like that. So anyway, she's back to reality. Joker's still there, and Joker's like, oh, that's all I want to see was the fear in your eyes. So he doesn't shoot her. He just leaves. Hops in the car, drives off. Boom, smoke bomb hits. They crash. His driver dies. Well, his driver is hurt, but he just shoots him in the head because he didn't want him to die anyway. Turns to his next goon, and this is my favorite part, and says, Bob, you're my number one now.
Yeah.
It's nice little call back there. So. Yeah. So then, like I said, Batman throws a whole bunch of smoke bombs. He's in the Batwing. He jumps down. They start fighting each other and shit like that. Harley Quinn's trying to run away, but she's so terrified, from fear, so petrified from fear, she just watched them fight and stuff like that. Joker gets away. Batman chases them. They go into this like little fountain, stuff like that. Harley Quinn goes over the edge and see both of them fight, but they're not really fighting. It's just Batman just beating the shit out of Joker. And then while he's punching him, at first she hears like Batman's fist punching against the skull, but she sees the rest of the crowd and everybody else is like, kill him, kill him, kill him. And she's like, okay, everybody in Gotham in this town is fucked up, And then she's looking at Joker. She's looking at Joker like the victim, because Batman's just going to town on his ass, Next day back at work, that her one coworker that went to school with her, is coming to her, the one that, spread the rumor about her, being a slut. She walks through again, like, oh, who'd you fuck for this to happen? Like, what are you talking about? Wait till you go in that room. And she goes in the room, and it's her boss talking to Lucius Fox. Lucius Fox had came to one of her seminars that she thought he was bored in, but honestly, he was actually like, no, I wasn't bored. I want to have a conversation with my boss. And my boss, Mr. Wayne, wants to give you a grant. You mean me a grant? He's like, yeah, because he's thinking that your research could actually could make a change to actually help these super criminals. And maybe figure out what's making them go crazy or what makes anybody go crazy. Like, okay. Then she also thinking that, well, maybe if I throw in there some monetary value, like Mr. Wayne doesn't care about you making more money. He just wants to get to the root of this problem. You're like, okay. So she goes, he makes a few phone calls. She gets transferred 2 weeks later to Arkham Asylum. She's happy, but when she's walking in there, foreshadowing. I like that, foreshadowing. Because her shadow is a picture of Harley Quinn, but we can't see that at the time. She goes in there and meets all the people like that. And the same day that she gets transferred to Arkham Asylum, it's the same day Joker arrives there. She didn't make the connection at the time. She's thinking like maybe they're fated or meant to be like that. But at the time, she's afraid of Joker. She's scared of Joker. She remembered that night that Joker pulled a gun on her. Yeah. And every night she's having nightmares like that. So she interviews everybody in the asylum except for Joker. Killer Croc.
She's scared of him.
She's scared of, like, she's having nightmares. She can't sleep, anything like that.
She was traumatized by that night. He was, that night she got in the crossfire and shit.
Yeah. Very funny thing that I noticed, like, she's interviewing every single inmate in there, and then they have pictures of all the inmates spread out, stuff like that. But she got, like, the sexiest pictures of Poison Ivy and a few of them also. So, like, I'm gonna keep these for research purposes. And then so she does everything she can to like make herself, not think about the Joker or that night that Joker was, terrifying her, even to the point that she starts drinking. That's the only way to keep her at night. So she wakes up one night and then she gets a phone call from Harvey Dent. Harvey Dent invites her down to like the Gotham Bridge, whatever that bridge is called, like that, and just have a conversation. First they have a nice little conversation. Then he just straight up says, I want you to shut your research down. And that Wayne Grant, turn it down. I'm like, what do you mean turn it down? Because if your research gets out, every 2-bit lawyer that's trying to make a name for himself is going to use your research to make some kind of sob story about these guys, and it's going to be back on the streets. Arkham Asylum is already a revolving door as it is. These guys need to be behind bars. They're in some hospital, being taken care of. But if your research gets out, that's going to make things even worse. You're like, and Harley Quinn is basically like, I'm not going to stop anything. I'm going to do what I want to do. And she's saying she having these psychotic dreams, thoughts about like stabbing the shit out of Harvey Dent right then, And she's like, and then because right now Harley Quinn is actually narrating the story, and she's just looking at the whole thing like it's funny. Like 6 months from now, both of us going to be hardcore murderers, So she's just like, fuck it, I'm gonna just interview the Joker. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to go ahead and face my fears, like do what I need to be done. But she's already been studying tapes and watching tapes of Joker, and Joker's been doing his same shtick about how he always making a different origin or how he got his, his look and who abused him and stuff like that. So she knows everything you're saying is bullshit. She knows that from the beginning when she talks to Joker. So what she wants to know is that don't tell me about you because you're going to tell me a bunch of bullshit anyway. Tell me about Gotham. Tell me about the City of Monsters, because I think the whole thing the story's been setting up is that Harley thinks that everybody in Gotham is capable of being insane, Well,
that's what she sees when Batman is beating the shit out of Joker and everyone's like cheering.
Right, and she's also seeing it in the people that's cheering it on. They're acting crazy. So
it's like, they're all, everyone's fucked up.
Yeah. So before they had the conversation, Joker said, well, before you say anything, call me Jay. Like, okay, Mr. J, and the book ends, And the funny thing about Joker is that he recognizes Harley every time. Yeah. Like when he's acting up in the Arkham Asylum when he first get there, he sees her and he calms down. He's like, oh, And even when he was talking to that goon that he shot right before he did it, he was like, well, the reason he didn't shoot her because he liked her. But he didn't just say it at the time, so. Eli, I'm gonna say this book a 5 out of 5. I mean, just the artwork of it was awesome. The fact that they retcon all the bullshit story that they did in Mad Love a long time ago, and the fact is that this is just one story, and they actually taking their time with it and how Harley Quinn is getting, to get to know the Joker, and that she's not self-centered like they try to make her to begin with. So.
No, I really liked it too. I mean, it was a serious, fresh take on Harley's origin, because I never gave a shit about Harley Quinn. In fact, I always kind of thought she was annoying. But I like that they're like, this is sort of like a crime movie or serial killer crime movie or show, like Silence of the Lambs or Mindhunter, where you're getting to the motivation of a killer or exploring the criminal mind and shit. It's like, I thought that was really interesting. And I also like that the fact that they didn't make Harley like a ditzy Joker knockoff.
Right.
You know,
but that's how she was in the original origin, the original story.
Yeah, she's not all gaga and lusting over, Joker. She's actually scared of him. I like the fact that she was traumatized by him. And that's what led to her obsession with him. Yeah. Like he traumatized her, and she was having nightmares about him. She was scared of him, So I really dug on that that they're giving her more of an identity instead of just being that Joker knockoff.
Yeah, and the funny thing is about it, like in the original story, because I keep comparing this to Mad Love because it kind of is a variation or a different take on Mad Love, like a reboot of Mad Love. Because in that story, the first thing she wants to get transferred to Arkham specifically to interview the Joker because she thinks that'll get her fame. Like that's the only reason she wants to do it.
Yeah, you see her frustrations in college.
She doesn't want anything to do with the Joker in this one.
Yeah, she's scared of him. That's what starts her obsession, and it's her fear that motivates her to confront him. Which I thought was really cool. Instead of her just being, this groupie,
right, which is what she was in the original story, and that's the thing. Yeah. I mean, now I'm thinking about it because everybody calls Mad Love one of the greatest Batman stories ever made, and after reading this, I'm thinking like, damn, was that story kind of overrated?
Yeah,
that's what it makes me think.
Yeah. I mean, I like the fact that it shows her like in college. It shows her trying to get jobs, and they address the bimbo reputation and how it was false, and how she actually struggled with all this, and
no matter where she went, it followed her.
Yeah, and how vulnerable she was. Like you actually feel bad for her,
And then she even says that like the night that Joker pulled the gun on her, like if she made it went public with that, maybe she wouldn't be in the situation she is now, but because she's scared of people recognizing her for being that slut in college, I'm gonna just keep my head down and not mention it to anybody.
Yeah, you totally get where she's going. This is like, for me, this was like Batman Begins for me, where you really understand the character.
Right.
And why they become who they become. That's why I love Batman Begins. And that's what I feel this is doing with Harley. It's taking that really serious take on what makes her become who she becomes, and I thought it was great. I mean, if there's only one small critique that I got, and this is just me being pretentious, is it got a little wordy at times because it's got the bigger, it's the Black Label book. And so it's got the bigger pages, the bigger book, it's got a bigger size. And I think instead of using it, I think the only book, like so far, Batman Damned is the only book that on the Black Label that used the bigger pages to an advantage. They have a bigger canvas, and the art in Batman Damned just felt more epic, had an epic scale.
Even though the story itself was shit.
Yeah, it just, the art was just like so grandiose because they had this bigger canvas to work with. Whereas here, it just feels like, they're just going to cram more panels.
Here's the thing. I actually agree with you to a point, but here's the thing, Eli. I feel like the book actually addressed that. I think the book actually made fun of that. Because, for instance, like the book, when it first, let's say the first like 3 pages of it, and Harley was in that seminar she was having, and all them big words she was having, and you can see the crowd nodding off, looking at their watches and looking at their phone, shit like that. Like, I'm reading the first page, I'm just like, man, this shit, I'm thinking like, oh man, 60 pages, this shit finna be boring as fuck. But then the next page, she's getting drunk in the bar, with her girlfriend, and she's just like, "Oh man, they were bored out of their minds when I was talking." I was like, "Thank you. Okay, you obviously you were doing it on purpose, to make this shit boring as fuck." I agree with you. It was a little wordy. Some of the words could have backed out because some of the shit.
It wasn't boring. This book was not boring, you know. But I just there was like a few panels of like, wow, that like were like the splash page of. Batman beating the shit out of Joker, or when Joker pulls the gun on her. Those big moments, where I felt, okay, that's cool. Like that moment where he pulls the gun on her and her life is flashing before her eyes and shit. Yeah. I mean, that's what I wanted more, how that page was set up. Like, that's what I wanted more.
I get you saying, and I kind of feel like that also, like the imagery, like the art of the book was so beautiful, you wanted less words to take it in.
Yeah.
I agree with you on that. Because there was one page, there was one panel that was just beautiful. Like when when Batman throws smoke and he's fighting all the bad guys, stuff like that, and you see Harley just standing there looking at him because she's petrified in fear, and she sees them through smoke, but they're bigger than she is, and she just looking at them like larger than life figures. And I'm just like, that's just a beautiful image right there.
Yeah.
Or her walking into Arkham for the first time, things like that.
Or just seeing her. Like when you see her, Dr. Quinzel, it's just a full splash page of just her. She's not Harley Quinn yet. It's just her as a doctor. She's got a recorder and a notepad, and it's just and you see like the symbols, the diamonds in the back, that silhouette. I mean, that was cool. Like it's just a one-page shot of her. This is her before all this shit happened to her. Where you get to take that and then that's what I would have liked to have seen more of. Like those, just using this bigger canvas to express that through the art. So, but other than that, that's just me nitpicking. But yeah, I thought this was great. I was like, fuck, I read this first and I was like, God damn, do I gotta? It
was the last thing I read. I even thought twice about getting out like $7. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, if this is more like if the next issue is more like this book, like this issue was, this might be the best Black Label book so far.
I think it already is. I mean, but it's not a high bar right now to set anyway. So, and the thing is that because they turn Harley, they retcon Harley into a sympathetic character instead of like this, like you said, this bimbo groupie they made her in Mad Love. Now she's a sympathetic character, but they don't show what she turned into yet. But you know it's coming, and it makes you feel even worse for her. Yeah,
and what sucks is like she's not really a victim yet. Right. She still kind of owns her actions. It's like it's because of her fear of the Joker is why she's doing what she's doing. But I also like that scene with Harvey Dent where she basically tells him to fuck off.
Right.
I thought that was great. Like she's still her own person and she's still consciously, in charge of her own destiny, which is like a far cry from, I just fell in love with the Joker and I'm just going to do whatever the Joker wants, which is what she was. Now you're seeing her transition. You see the transition into that character where she is making decisions. She is like, she is in charge of her own destiny now. And that's what I like.
So, like I said, Black Label, give us more books like this.
Yeah. Very serious adult takes.
Exactly. This is an adult take. This isn't just, you know what another weird thing is? That they bleeped out fuck in the book. Did you notice that?
Did they?
They did. Like, not all the time. So. Sometimes they left it in there. Sometimes they didn't.
I thought I saw some F-bombs.
They did. But, like, Pauline, her anytime that she saw Harley Quinn, she was like, did you fuck Lucius Fox to get this grant? But they bleeped out F then. Fuck then. But any other time when she's just saying, fuck, it's in the book. Like, the very next page is in there. Like, that's weird. I think it's kind of like the PG-13 rule. Okay, so the PG-13 rule allows, one fuck, but it's how you say the fuck. So you can say fuck, but you can't say, did you fuck him? Like you can't use fuck as a verb. It's a weird rule. Like if you say fuck as a verb, then you get,
it's got to be a noun.
It's got to be a noun. Or an adjective, fucking, something like that. But it can't be a verb. You can't fuck anybody. So I'm thinking Black Label has the same rule, but I'm just like weird as fuck, man. Like they say fuck about like 5-6 times in the book, but that one page they blacked it out. And then the very next panel, she was like, "Did you bleep him? Pauline don't have time for your bullshit." I'm like, what? Why did you bleep that out?
Yeah,
I don't know. Any more books?
I thought this was great. Yeah, I'll fuck it. I'll give it 5 out of 5 for me on a Harley Quinn book. Who would ever thought?
Okay, I want to see what Comic Cast say about this one. I'm interested. I'm interested to see what they say about this. Shoot, any more books we got?
No, I'm good.
I think that's it. All right. If you listen this long, just like, share, subscribe. We have our sister podcast, Geek Sav. Also listen to Comic Cast. Like I said, they review the same books we did, plus a bunch of other books that we didn't review. Check it. Take a listen, see what they had to say. We also got Hoodoo TV. Get Valiant. This is gonna be a big book. This big week because Bloodshot #1 dropped.
Oh shit.
And I think Dr. Mirage dropped. That's a long time ago. I know a little bit about Dr. Mirage, but I'm not gonna talk about it. And the #1 podcast of this website, Talking Balls. That's all people want to hear about. Then fuck all this Superman and Batman bullshit. They want to hear about Tennessee football. Now next week we got actually a special week because that's gonna be the week of the Joker, the most controversial movie of the year. Technically, and I'm putting in air quotes. It's a comic book movie, and I'm saying it in the loosest term possible. So it's kind of like our job to review it, and that's all we're gonna do. As of right now, I'm deciding that's all we're gonna do is just do a Joker spoiler podcast, and that's gonna be it. And we'll see how it goes. Until then, this is Leroy.
This is Eli.
We can talk to you guys next week. Same bully time, same bully channel.